At the end of the training, you are expected to go back with the knowledge and begin to make use of it. That's what we try. That's one of the things that we try to achieve with our training, not just to come and talk, and then at the end of the day, all the talking, you are not able to start making use of the technology. Then the reason for the training is defeated. So please, if you have a laptop, or you're actually joining us with a phone, if there's an option for you to get a laptop, please kindly do that so that you can also follow through with all that we do. We'll be taking questions, we'll be answering all questions. I assure you that at the end of this training, you will get value. And of course, to get that value, you need the tools so that you are able to also do some of the things that we'll be doing. Okay, so I do hope that we can all see my screen. Can we see my screen?
Yes.
And also hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So now we'll start by the terms that we've used: assistive technology for decoding. From the introduction, we know that there are so many students in our school, in our environment, or even in our classroom that struggle with reading, understanding words, and of course syllables and how they are being used. Okay, so we are going to be looking at some of the terms, decoding, and why it is important. Decoding is the process of translating print into speech by rapidly matching a letter or combination of letters to their sounds and recognizing the patterns that make syllables and words. There's an area in the brain that deals with language processing and does this process automatically. Now, while from the little period that we've done this training, we over time get resources and stuff that we look at before coming for training like this. So we've seen a whole lot of research done by universities, both internationally and locally, on why students don't get to speak. Some students struggle with speech or struggle with understanding words and syllables. And they saw that it has actually been a major problem in the past. But some of the students, were just, sometimes we see them as being lazy in the class. Why would your mate understand how to read this thing? And at your age, you can't read. Why? And some of these students, although there is something actually, like we see here, there's something in the brain that processes this, that there's a process that happens in the brain for decoding to happen. So if the child is not decoding as he or she is supposed to, is not reading as he or she is supposed to, is not understanding the words he's supposed to understand at a certain age, then there is a problem. Is not, we tend to put it to laziness. Sometimes we put it on what's it called now? Genealogical, like saying, oh, the parent, in fact, some of the parents will say, oh, me, I didn't read early enough, so my child too, it's is in the gene, it's in our family line. Meanwhile, there are tools that could actually help the child if we see those flaws at a very early stage to support that child. Unfortunately, about 30% of students do not access this part of their brain and therefore must be taught decoding strategies very explicitly and systematically, meaning that we start with the simplest sounds, letters, concepts, and build to the more complex. This method of phonics instructions have been proven to be the most effective in helping students gain decoding skills. Okay, so then what we'll be looking at some technologies that help these set of students to become better. Of course, assistive technology, with the acronym AT, is a term for assistive, adaptive, and rehabilitative devices for people with disabilities or the elderly population. People with disabilities often have difficulty performing activities on daily living, ADL. or even with assistance. So now, like we said earlier, that there's actually something that happens in the brain that helps students to, get to understand the things they understand. So if it's not happening the way it's supposed to, we can begin to look at it. Is there something that is wrong? Is there a disability? Of course, disability, the word disability, especially when it is used in this part of the world, we believe is someone that maybe the hand is broken, is blind, or the one that cannot walk or that cannot speak. But meanwhile, we have so many students in our classroom that have their disability is not visible to the eye. It is something that, so when you look at them, you just see that, there's nothing wrong with this child. Why are you not? And then we don't look at some other things that could actually cause the problem that are internal. So these, we believe, is also a major reason why wow. I would ask for 1 minute, please, while I attend to. Hello, Mr. Auchi, are you in there?
Yes, I am here. Yes, I can hear you.
So I think some people are in the group struggling,
Don't worry, I'm there. Don't worry, okay. Don't worry. Just ask them to make inquiry in the group. I will send them. Okay. I will take care of their entry. I've been taking care of that. Yes.
Okay, let me quickly chat them to reach out to you.
Sorry, just so you know, the group chat is closed for members. It's only admin that can talk, so you may just open it if you want people to talk there.
That's true. We'll do that now. Okay, so really sorry about that little break. So like I rightly said, so these people are right in our classroom. I'll just share a little one with us of a particular student that I took my, for me, I found out some of these things while I was in the classroom, while as a teacher. I was basically research oriented. I kept on, searching on new technologies and stuff. So I stumbled on this, and there's this particular student in my class that, of course, normal, very young, bright-looking boy, grade 3, sound, like every other student. But the student would always, there's, the rate at which he or he would, is a boy actually, the rate at which he's going to, the level at the time he needs to understand whatever it is that you're teaching him, it takes a longer time than every other student. And the time to remember things. So if you're asking a question in class, and then you see him, everybody will raise up their hands, and then he too will raise up his hands, and then you ask every other person, they'll give you, an answer that seemingly looks like what it is that you're looking for. But this particular boy, once you ask, okay, you raised your hands, can you tell me the answer? Of course, we understand that kids, even if they don't know the answer, they will raise their hands. But this particular boy, and I ask, and I take my time, and then I notice that it will take him a whole long time to process to process the question and then give the answer. And over time, I noticed that his answer is even more accurate than even the other student that answers immediately. So, and the student moved to another class, a grade 4 class, and of course, the new teacher didn't understand. So he believed the boy was, too naughty, playful and all of that. Of course, those kind of children, sometimes they are not they're hyperactive. So started having issues. The boy that was doing well in this class, that the teacher could actually understand, how to deal with the boy. But getting to another class, the boy started, having issues with his score went down. So many things started happening. Then the parents began to complain, and all of the parent of the boy began to complain. So that's what will happen for a teacher that does not have an idea of what exactly is happening with a particular student in the class. You'll be struggling with that student, but if you have an idea of, okay, this could actually be this, why not try this approach? And then you see that a little knowledge, a little application of some of these little things that basically are nothing can actually help that kind of student in your class, and then gives you rest of mind as a teacher. So over 32 million Nigerians are struggling with reading and writing, spelling comprehension difficulties. I know that's in terms of dyslexia. We know this topic. It's a topic that we're beginning to accept in the education space now. Before now, it's nothing we knew. We didn't have any idea about it. In my own days in the class, if you don't know, if a student doesn't know, you don't know, it means you don't know. You don't know means you don't know. What is disability? Yeah, if you are not on the wheelchair, you are not disabled. If you are not blind, you are not disabled. If you are not speaking, if you are speaking, nothing is wrong with you. So before now, there was no form of, we never understood what dyslexia was, but now recently we've seen that there's this acceptance, there's this people are beginning to be aware of what dyslexia is about now in this part of the world. They are beginning to know that there are students in our class that they don't look disabled, they are not disabled, but there are things that are where they actually need special attention. So that's why we believe that we have a whole lot of people struggling with this. Some students, even for teachers that are not yet aware, some students will be in their class that don't, that are actually looking for, that actually will need help and support, but don't get it because the teachers are not aware of their situation. So dyslexia is a learning disorder that involves difficulty in reading due to problems identifying speech sounds and learning how they relate to letters and words. Of course, there's a whole lot of different types of dyslexia. Some have identified dyslexia in reading, dyslexia that focus on mathematical calculations and all of that. So there's a whole different types of it. Some of them are the ones we actually are itemized by the right hand here. So as a teacher, as an educator, it's something that you need to know. It's a must know, so that when a student is in your class that you see is struggling, the first thing that comes to you is am I sure the student doesn't need help? What could actually cause this? So that we leave the place of, the child is lazy and all of that. Every student can actually learn. Every student can actually know. It only depends on the teacher. The teacher is always the factor there that will help a student to come out of whatever difficulty or she's having to become better. Of course, we'll be looking at, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be focusing on 3 tools. One of the tools is Immersive Reader. So, of course, what is Immersive Reader? Immersive Reader is a free tool that implements proven techniques to improve reading and writing for people, regardless of their age or ability. Immersive Reader can improve reading comprehension and increase fluency for English language learners. It can help build confidence for emerging readers learning to read at higher levels, and offer text decoding solutions for students with learning differences such as dyslexia. It is available in OneNote, Word, and the web version of Outlook. It is also available in Office Lens for iOS. So we're going to take a look. We're going to take a dive into Immersive Reader, see how we can basically use it in our classroom. Like I said, you'll be amazed that some of these tools is something you see a student struggling, just sit the student down. All you need is data. Open it, and the student begins to. Like we said, these are proven. They can, with a little time, and you following up on them, you see those students begin to get better. We are also going to look at reading progress. Reading progress is actually my favorite. immersive reader is also something I love so much. But I like the fact that reading progress gives you more, you know. This helps you, not unlike immersive reader. Reading progress will help you to, like the word goes, reading progress. You're able to see the progress of every child as they read. You're able to know the words that they are struggling with. You're able to understand the syllables that they're having issues with and how you can actually help them and all of that. But the only issue with this is that it's integrated to teams, the teams that we are using right now. Okay, and it's only integrated to teams that are school teams. So they're schools that have teams, you know, in their school, that they've deployed teams in their school. They will enjoy this. I tell you, when we go into it, you see how beautiful it is. Okay, so of course, it's integrated into teams to support and track reading fluency in your class. Students record their reading on camera and submit it to you. We'll see how that works. Then we also have read and write. This, of course, it's actually you can actually install it into your Google Chrome. Okay, we're also going to see how that works. Read and write is a text-to-speech program that provides visual and auditory feedbacks of text. Read and write has proven to be beneficial for people with learning difficulties, dyslexia, or visual impairment. So English language learners as well can actually use this, and those that are learning English as a second language can also use this tool. So having said all of this, we are now going to move into the practical sessions. So what are we going to need during the practical session is just Office Online or any Microsoft package. Okay, because of the work that it does, basically you need data. So we'll be using Office Online for this session, and then for reading progress we'll move to Teams, and then for read and write we'll move to the app itself. Okay, so I'm going to first